Yo, what's happening everyone? It's me, it's Count, here with an all-new Pokemon GO video. Today, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 legendary Pokemon that you need to max out. Now, the reason why you need to max out these Pokemon is because they are always going to be a really great investment. Most of the Pokemon that are on this list, they are the best of their type, and they are going to be for a very long time. So if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So as I mentioned before, every single one of the Pokemon that I'm going to be listing off in this video are great investments for the future, and they are also going to be extremely relevant for a lot of the raid bosses that are in the current generation, as well as generations that are coming up. Now the reason for that is because of how they counter certain types, while also being resistant to a lot of other types. A lot of these Pokemon are seriously some of the best that you can get for a very long time, so it's really worth investing the Stardust. A lot of these Pokemon are also great for PvP. Some of them are really great for raid battles and gym battles. You really want to invest your Stardust on these 5 legendaries. So yeah, let's get into the first one. Coming in at number 5, it is Mewtwo. More specifically, Mewtwo with the move Shadow Ball. Now, Shadow Ball is the legacy move for Mewtwo. Of course, not a lot of players will have a Mewtwo with Shadow Ball, but if you manage to pick one up, especially with lucky trades, you definitely want to invest the Stardust in it, mainly because Mewtwo with Shadow Ball is one of the top generalists, and it's going to be one of the top generalists for a very long time. Now, of course, when it comes to the ghost typing, the more recently released legendary Pokemon Giratina origin form is going to be a lot stronger than Mewtwo, especially with raid battles and gym battles, but Mewtwo is still a really strong generalist, and he's going to be really useful in different game modes like gym battling and PvP, especially in the Master League. So if you have a Mewtwo with Shadow Ball, it is definitely worth investing, and it's going to be useful for an extremely long time. I guarantee it. Now coming in at number 4, I actually have Moltres. Now the reason why I have Moltres on this list is because he is by far the best fire type attacker in terms of raw DPS. And of course Moltres does have that dual flying and fire typing, so he's going to have a lot of different advantages against certain Pokemon in gym battles. So Moltres is definitely one of those Pokemon you want to invest Stardust in, mainly because if you need a fire type for any kind of raid battle or gym battle, he is a solid choice to go to when it comes to using a fire type. Of course, Moltres is a glass cannon, and he has most of his movesets being related to fire typing, so he's not necessarily going to be useful in PvP, but still, this is going to be one of the best, if not the best, fire type attacker for a very long time. It's going to be really hard to dethrone this Pokemon, mainly because we do not have a lot of legendaries with the fire typing that are going to be released here on out. Now coming in at number 3, I actually have Raikou. Now the reason why I have Raikou on this list is for a lot of the same reasons that I have Moltres. Raikou is one of the best electric types that you will have for a very long time. It came close to being dethroned by the recent addition of Electivire, but unfortunately Electivire just didn't have the survivability that Raikou has. So Raikou is by far a really solid choice for maxing out legendary Pokemon. You really want to have a really nice Raikou, because when the time comes when you need an electric type, Raikou is your best bet. You really want to have a really nice Raikou. I myself actually have a perfect IV Raikou, and I also have a 98%, so I'm really happy about that, mainly because I tend to find a lot more water Pokemon where I live, because Chicago has a lot of river biomes and lake biomes, so people tend to put water Pokemon in gyms. He's really useful when it comes to that. He completely decimates Pokemon like Gyarados and Lapras and different things like that, you really want to make sure you have a really solid Raikou. He's extremely good for raid battles that involve water types, he's really great for gym battles, and PvP he can be useful as well in the Master League. However, a lot of his moves are just completely electric type. He doesn't have a lot of type coverage, so you may not necessarily find him too useful in PvP. But he is still a heavy hitter and he is still really great, especially with the move Wild Charge. That is definitely the move you want to TM to. Coming in at number 2, it is Kyogre. The reason why I have Kyogre on this list is because he is by far the best water type in the game. With the moveset Waterfall and Hydro Pump, he just dishes out an insane amount of damage. And on top of that, he can also learn Ice Beam, which gives him a lot of type coverages in PvP. Something I really like to use Kyogre for is for gym battles. I think for a lot of people who throw in like fire type Pokemon or some kind of Pokemon that is weak against water types like ground and rock, he does an insane amount of damage and clears out a lot of those Pokemon. And the nice thing about Kyogre is that he also has a lot of survivability. His defense stats and his HP stats are comparatively high, so you definitely want to max out this Pokemon. It's going to be extremely useful for you. I definitely recommend it. And finally, coming in at number 1, the top legendary that you absolutely need to max out is Rayquaza. The reason why I have Rayquaza on this list is because for dragon types, he is absolutely the best out there in terms of DPS. And a lot of the raid battles that are coming out in future generations are going to have the dragon typing. And of course, with dragon types, you want to fight them with other dragon types. Rayquaza is a very solid investment for that reason. A lot of the raid battles that are going to be coming out, Rayquaza is always going to be the #1 recommended Pokemon. You really want to invest in a lot of great Rayquazas. Of course, recently we had Rayquaza return in raid battles, and it looks like he's going to return again pretty soon, mainly because people really want that shiny Rayquaza. So if he does come back in raid battles, I really suggest you get a whole bunch of Rayquazas. Ask your friends to get a whole bunch of Rayquazas and make sure you trade them with your friends in order to get those luckies. Rayquaza is a solid choice. Now, much like Moltres, Rayquaza is a bit of a glass cannon, and he doesn't necessarily have a lot of type advantages, and he doesn't have a lot of type coverage. So in terms of PvP, you may not necessarily use him as much, but he is a very solid choice, and for raid battles and gym battles, he is an absolute must. So make sure you go out and pick up Rayquaza when he returns. This is definitely a Pokemon you want to max out. So there you have it, everyone. This is my top 5 list for legendary Pokemon that you absolutely need to max out. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Did I miss out on a legendary Pokemon? Should I have included something on this list? Let me know in the comments section below. And yes, I do recognize that Pokemon like Groudon and Dialga should have been on this list. They are extremely powerful and extremely useful. And of course, there are Pokemon that are going to be really useful for PvP specifically. But yeah, if this was a top 10 list, I would have definitely included them, but definitely sound off in the comments section below. Which one is your favorite legendary that you have maxed out? I would love to know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if it's your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I am Count Jinsula, and I will catch you all later.